Yep, that's a good fish too.
Oh, mate, this one's working a heap better. It's going to make form and stuff.
Early morning topwater bass.
Going to be a bit more of this bass fishing over the next few weeks, I reckon. Welcome back to another My Lure Box video. In today's video, we're going bass fishing for the first time. The season's been open a little while and there's plenty of good fish being caught. We're going to start down the bottom of the system and have a go with some surface lures this morning and just see where the morning takes us. Let's get into it.
He needed too many tail beats to be a jack. And it's like, see you later. Oh, don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Oh, that was a bass. There he is again. He's still going, he's hit it twice. Come again. How do you miss that? Jeez, he wasn't missing that. Both times felt it. Sick. There's a bass just here with my name on it, that's all. Yep. Oh, I missed him. No, I got him. You beauty. Oh, here goes another one. He's got his brother in there. Teaming up like you and me, hen. I saw him feeding, that's why I called it. He's an alright fish for a morning. Look at that. His brother's still going bananas. Jeez, it's been a while since I've been able to thumb grip a bass. Stay there, mate. Stay there. Oh, can you just stop it? Yeah. Look at that, mate. Early morning topwater bass. It's been a while. Little Z-Man finesse frogs that we're running. I was none from 4. He wasn't going to miss it. There's a lot bigger fish further up this system. That it's the first bass fish we've had in a while, so I'm happy with that. All right. See you, buddy. How good is it? Bass fishing gets so addictive. Is that another hit? Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah, I love it, Ed. I love it. Yep, got it. We just changed sides. There's still a couple of little isolated shadows on that side. Slightly different
getting their
colour.
last little feed in before the sun hits it. It's a good decision.
Look at that. Jacked that lure, didn't he?
I always come back to bass fishing and realise how much I'm missing, eh?
every time. They're just so aggressive. The take is just so addictive. A little finesse frog. Those fins, eh? Geez, they're stunning fish. Later, buddy. Keep doing this for a couple more minutes along the end. Yeah, mate, for sure. Thing is, then I always fish here and then run out of time at the 6th spot further up, because I'm like, I get here and I'm like, yeah, I should start fishing here just in case it's good. But yeah, I suppose we've still got a little while. Oh, got it. Yeah, that's a better fish too. Yeah. Oh, that's a better fish. I reckon he's in that 400 range. Yeah, he is. Look at that. Oh, that's stunning. Beautiful fish. You've seen the floods too, you can see just the finish on them. I've sort of seen a lot of water coming through really quickly. Still in beautiful condition, but just the colour on them. Hopefully I can get this one up to...
You want the net?
Probably should use the net, but I'm just being a bit casual. I'll just grab it and support him on the way up. There you go, have a look at this, mate. Oh, yeah. That, mate. That's a much better fish. And his take was really measured. He just cruised up. He was so confident the way he took that, cruised up, open right up. I saw his mouth open around the finesse frogs. And yeah, no missing. Oh, this is just so much fun this morning. Jeez, he's in beautiful shape. Look at the colours on that. The greens and everything through the back and the shoulders. Gold scales. And massive gob. There's no missing it. Going to be a bit more of this bass fishing over the next few weeks, I reckon. Oh, off you go. Yeah, that was a 400 model, that. And this time of year, I think generally the way to go is the further up the systems you can go, especially on the back of some rain, you can get some beautiful big fish. Bigger than that, a lot bigger than that, are in these systems. And sometimes it's a kayak or land-based trekking, which is the way to go. So I'm going to try and get some of that stuff and capture it, share it with you. If you haven't seen these things before, these are the finesse frogs. I've done videos on these for years and years on how to rig them, how to fish them. I'll link those videos at the end of this video. Let's keep going. One of the little things that I like to do with these finesse frogs is that you want it as close as you can get to the cover, but you want to lift your rod tip nice and high, get that line, get the leader off the water. That lifts the chin of the little frog up and gets the little legs going even better. It also means you don't have to worry about your leader, you know, spooking the fish. So I lift my rod tip right up high and then I use that line, and then I'm right in contact with the fish. As soon as the hookup happens, I'm not trying to pick up line from, you know, a belly of line that's been moved through the water because of the tidal flow and the runoff that's coming out of the system. You can see like the rod tip's high and my little Vanford's just humming along, and it's just a constant retrieve. The bass love these finesse frogs. Just a constant retrieve, straight back. And that gets the little legs just paddling beautifully, gets a little bubble trail, and that's the little signature that the bass can hone in on and then fire their shot at it. And it's rare that they miss it. You know, it's generally you feel something with these frogs. They're so appealing, the bass get really aggressive for them. But that's all it is. You get your rod tip up and just a nice, slow, consistent roll back to the boat. And even when they hit these things, you don't have to stop it. You can just keep it going. If you stop it, sometimes they'll lose their interest. It's sort of the movement and the paddling tail and the bubble trail that keeps the fish interested. So I tend not to stop this. You know, with jacks, if you get a hit, you try to leave the lure in the strike zone and twitch it about. But with these bass, they'll keep chasing it down, and it's so exciting to watch. And you can see a bass coming in after it, hitting it time and again on the way back to your boat. Sometimes I'll sort of cheat a little bit and you can leave that hook exposed. You don't have to bury it. Okay, it's one of the things once you get fishing, having the hook upturned like that on a floating lure, it's rare that it'll get caught up. You can still peg it in amongst all the cover, but you'll get a much better hookup rate if that hook's just cheating a little bit slightly above the body of the bait. Well, it's pretty rare that this is the case, but I've just been bringing this along and it's rolling, like the little Z-Man finesse frogs is rolling. So I've pulled it up beside the boat, had a really good look at it, and one of the legs is just sort of warped out of position, so it's not working as well as it should. So I just swapped over, and you want those legs to sit exactly level like that. Otherwise, if they've been sitting in the sun, or there was an old packet, it was kind of sitting ajar like that, one leg above the other, and so it was just wanting to spin and rotate in the water. But I think we're right now, so we'll get back into it. It definitely makes a difference with the interest from the bass. It has to be perfect and then working perfectly so that the sound coming out of the bubble is right and the bait isn't rolling as it's coming back in. Oh, something's going bananas. Look at that. Oh, there's a boil. Yep, that's a good fish too, I reckon. The take was just so aggressive. Oh, yeah, he's not a bad fish. Mate, he has come so far out off that edge to grab that. And this has just played out so good. Like, bass fishing is so good for this, that it's so quiet here. You can hear everything in around the sticks. Oh, geez, this one's fat as. This one is so fat. Come here, mate. Oh. Now, we heard this fish from about 20 metres away, knocking sticks around in the edge. And we're just thinking about changing to something a little bit deeper because it had been quiet for about 50 metres along that grassy bank. We came around the corner, and there's a fish feeding here, and there's one still going on the other side. So we're going to stick it out and see if we can get a couple more. But look at these fish. What, beautiful conditioned fish. Look at the shoulders on them and the tummy. You'd be full of insects. It's just perfect. Oh, mate, this is fantastic stuff. Well, heat's definitely getting into the morning now, and we've had some success with these little finesse frogs. But what I think I might do, the shadows are sort of receded right back, and for about 10 minutes there we could hear a heap of bass in against the bank, and I think that was the bass trying to get the last of that bite from the shadows and things down in around the edges. But we've had a little slow period now, and I'm going to change up. So this is something that you can do to try and chase the bite. Sometimes in the morning when that surface bite leaves,
you can transition to deeper lures, and that's what I'm going to do. The way that I finished with this little finesse frogs was actually throwing right up into the weeds, into the reeds deep, because the bass were right in there. And if you're missing them by hedging and sort of throwing out to the edge of the shadows and then retrieving it in the sunlit water, you just completely, you miss your chance and you're not going to get the fish. So one of the good things about this lure is you can throw it into the weed and not get hooked up with those little EWG hooks. But I'm going to change over now, and I'm going to go with a little diving lure. Okay, now this is one of my favourites for chasing bass. It's a handcrafted timber lure. These are made by Jollop Lures. They're a 40 DR, and they've just got a tiny little profile and are really busy in the water. And with the runoff that we've had, I think that the action down deep is going to be able to pull these fish in this discoloured water. So we'll throw this little DR around, see if we can keep the bite going. Hopefully get onto a nice bass. Sometimes you can pull some real big fish as you go deeper as the morning progresses. Let's try that. Oh, yep, got it. Oh. Mate, that was absolutely brilliant. And I was fishing this, oh, it's a brim too. And it was a surface brim taken on a deep crank. I was kind of fingers crossed because I was hoping I'd be able to, oh, there you go. All over your shirt, mate. Sorry, mate. Little brim, but a great example of how you can fish these little cranks different than what you'd expect. So the little bubbly body on this timber means it floats. So when you rest it, you can sit it on the surface. So you might have seen there I was throwing it deep into the cover, into the shadows, and early morning when you've just transitioned over from a topwater lure, you can still get a fish on a deep crank right up on the top, and it's just bobbing it in there. So all I did was I just threw it out and just let it rest there, and I was just popping the lure down and up, and it just threw out that little vibration on the surface, and along came the brim. I think there was actually a bass there with it, because when I hooked up and started to bring it in, I saw a bigger fish sort of move off to the side. So it can call fish in with those vibrations. And then you can get into your deep crank, which is what I was about to start doing. And all that is just a really slow roll and maybe a pause halfway out. Just if there's a bass following it, they might just grab it as you stop it. That's about it. I'm still targeting the shadows. We've just come up to a tree here. I'm still targeting these shadows where I can. But there's not many of them left. Yep, good fish. Right, he grabbed that, so clean. Look at that. And the sun's up now, and the the bite had got so slow that it really just needed something that I could work super slow. And it was just something a little bit deeper where the bass are they're down a little bit deeper now. There it is. The 40DR by Jollop Lures. These things, have a look at the shape of that bib. So you can work it so slow and it's really busy. And these bass love them. The brim love them and the bass love them. They've done really well. They've won tournaments, those things. Anyway, I'm keen to keep going and get another one or two. But that was just textbook. So slow out off the deep edge with a little bit of overhang, you know. Good stuff. Here's an edge where the water's pushing out over the edge. Oh, just got a boil. Look at he's there, look at him. Boom, grabbed it, got it. Oh, that was just magic. And that was with that little technique of just bobbing it before you bring it down. The sun's high now, so they're a bit more reluctant sometimes. But that was just beautiful. And it's a good fish too. It's a really good fish. I'll try and just lift him in, I think. Have a look at this. That's mid-30s bass. Let's play the game, mate. Play the game. There's that 40DR, and he came and grabbed it off the surface. And I watched him sit up underneath it, so he's just a lot more reluctant because the bite's slowing down, the sun's a lot higher, but a couple of little twitches of the rod tip, and he smashed it. There you go, look at that. That little 40DR has extended the session this morning. I otherwise would have gone home, but to get another couple of good fish like this, and the way that they take it is just beautiful. And you can see the cover that we're fishing in. So there's really good stuff on both sides. So, you know, early morning you've got lots of shadows on this side, late afternoon the other side has all the shadows, but I'm constantly searching and checking to see where there's any fallen timber drop-offs, you know, or a good spot where a nice bass might be sitting. And a spot like this means that you can fish both sides. You know, one cast away from the cover at all times on both sides. It makes for great fishing. It just means you've got to keep your wits about you because there's fantastic cover everywhere. All right, off you go, bass. See you, mate. All right, well, folks, you might be wondering where I got this. I got this from Mo Tackle. Okay, Mo Tackle's got a range of these. They've got custom colours and everything. They are hard to find. They're not in all the stores because they're a timber handcrafted lure. Okay, and that gives it that floaty ability, and that really wide bib means that it gets super busy straight away as soon as you start to move it, and that's when that bass took it. Oh, I get the feeling there's going to be a little bit more of this bass fishing happening over the next few weeks if I can get back down here and try a few different things. I hope you've learnt something this morning. If you've been watching this video and keen to get into your bass fishing, now's the time. It's a beautiful time of year to get out early and chase a few bass on surface, and then with divers after that. I'll see you in the next video.